Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by Buffalo Trace Distillery. Powerful yet smooth. Contained but never tame. Proudly going their own way, but never going alone. This is the spirit inside Buffalo Trace Bourbon. Made at Buffalo Trace Distillery, the world's most award-winning distillery. Buffalo Trace is always perfectly untamed. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery, Franklin County, Kentucky. 90 proof, 45% alcohol by volume. Learn more at buffalotracedistillery.com. Please drink responsibly.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop early holiday deals now.
Thanks to Casper.com for supporting my podcast, Don't Blame Me. If you guys want $50 off any mattress, you heard me, any mattress, go to Casper.com/blame and enter the promo code BLAME. That's how you're going to get it. $50 off. One more time, guys. Casper.com/blame, promo code BLAME. You're welcome in advance. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Don't Blame Me with me, Megan Rinks. Pew, pew, pew. It is episode 3 of my podcast. If you are just tuning in for the first time, welcome. Don't Blame Me podcast is basically an advice podcast featuring me and all of you, except only the ones of you who call in. So how you get on this podcast, it's a lot easier than getting on Jeopardy. You don't have to do a bunch of trivia. You don't have to be like super smart. You just have to leave a voicemail, which in this day and age is actually relatively hard to do. I mean, I know I avoid listening to my voicemails at all costs, in which producer Jack Ferry could definitely testify that I don't listen to voicemails or call back. But if you want to call me, even though I am not going to call you back, but I'll talk about your answer and give you some advice on the air, you can use the number 310-694-0976. My personal cell phone number, again, everybody, is 310-694-0976. Except it's not my personal phone number. So if you're going to send me, you can't send money through a phone number, but if you're going to like do something like that, you know, just slide into my DMs instead. If you want to send me like free athletic wear, I would love that. So today we've got a very exciting episode with Jack. Announce yourself.
Oh, hello. Hi, Megan.
Oh my God. Who is this random person in my house?
Hello, everyone. If this is your first episode, my name is Jack. I am Megan's producer on the podcast.
And he's dressed snazzy today, everybody. Not that he dresses snazzy every day.
Well, thank you, Megan.
He's literally wearing, what do you call that? Like a suit jacket?
This would be a sport coat?
A sport coat.
Yeah.
And it's got a pocket square too.
Yeah, well, I've got a meeting after this and I wanted to look nice.
Just pretend that it was for this.
Well, I try to look nice for you as well, but I don't normally wear a sport coat.
Well, I'm wearing makeup right now because we're actually filming a little bit of this for my YouTube channel. So this is a nice change of pace for you to look at. Last time I was a little orange from my Coachella spring
Oh,
tan.
yes. I remember that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So how have you been since we last recorded?
I've been good. I've been working out a lot because I've been really, really, really bored.
I just ran into your good friend Ross last night. Who told me that you guys are going on like a Soulcycle adventure together.
Oh, we are. We go to Soulcycle. We go to Pilates. Honestly, there's nothing more entertaining than watching like a tall, lanky man on a Pilates reformer. It's great. So we have a lot of fun doing that. We've been working out and I've got a little bit of some...
Yeah, I've noticed that your body is covered in bruises today.
I fell off. I mean, I didn't fall off the Soulcycle bike. I just like fell during the cool down. I had a small tumble and I like caught myself before I went like face plant down, and I just hooked onto the handlebars. But it was a Rihanna themed class, so it was like the evolution of Rihanna. It felt like we were in a music video because it was just Ross and I staring at each other, just singing like we found love in a hopeless place, and it was like lots of umbrella, A under my umbrella. Ella. A. And I did a Soulcycle class with Grace. She went to Jocelyn's birthday.
I saw. Yeah. So you're just like really getting into like ridiculous shape right now.
I am, except I put like 0 resistance on the bike, only like a little bit because I don't want to bulk my legs.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it's like me and all of these other like girls with like chicken legs who are like, they're like, turn the resistance up. And we all look at each other like, yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm not trying to get some bulky legs right now.
All right. Well, I believe that's the whole point of Soulcycle is to just ride with the easiest level of resistance.
Yes. I'm just there for the cardio.
Tight wheel, tight body. That's what they say.
Tight wheel, tight body.
Yeah. I guess
Who says that? I've never heard that.
The instructors say that.
Who do you go to?
Alba.
You said that so. I've been to one of her classes.
She's intense.
Yeah. Where do you go?
Usually Manhattan Beach.
What time so everyone can show up?
All right. Well, let's get into the show.
Okay.
This isn't Soulcycle with Megan Rings. It's Don't Blame Me with Megan Rings.
You're right. I'm also not good enough to cycle for that. Anyways, okay, guys, we'll stop talking about my non-existent rock hard abs right now. Except if I flex, I have a little bit of muscle. Let's just take on the first call.
Last month, I confessed to my crush. He ended up rejecting me because he said that he had commitment issues, and I didn't mind. It is my senior year, and I probably won't see him again after I graduate. But after being rejected, we had a competition for robotics, and we both were going on it. During those 3 days, and even after, during school, he just got super physical with me. When we ended up sitting together, he had his arm around my shoulder, he laid his head on me, and everything. At first, I didn't mind, but after some time, I ended up going to my closest friend on the trip and telling him about the guy. My friend pretty much just allowed me to cling to him so that I wasn't alone. My friend thought the other guy was clinging to me because I was doing stuff for our team as captain alone. That aside, I'm really such an affectionate person, and him getting all over me isn't helping me to get over him and enjoy the last of my high school career. What do you suppose I should do?
Okay, well, I mean, it sounds like he's just like trying to fuck, which like, I mean, no offense. I don't blame him. It's like end of senior year. That's kind of when it's like, hey, we might not see each other again. Like, let's go do this. But I think if you have actual feelings for him, which it sounds like you do, I wouldn't follow through with that. I think like telling him like, hey, like personal boundary issues. I really think like I already told you that I have feelings for you and you don't have those kind of feelings back. And I know that you have commitment issues, but like I'm not just like trying to be a fuck buddy. I would like rather us like stay the platonic kind of friends, because you don't get to have it both ways. It's not like he can't say like, oh, well, I don't have those feelings for you, but like I'm still going to talk to you and treat you like I have those feelings for you. And then I'm going to tell you I have commitment issues. So then when we inevitably possibly hook up, which is what I'm trying to do, then I can tell you that I warned you and like you kind of knew all of this stuff going into it, which I think is like, this is like a very classic high school. I mean, it's not even a classic high school move. It's kind of a classic move in general where like any guy or girl can be like, before they get into the physical aspects, like, I just have commitment issues. Like, I just want to let you know, like, you're such a good person, but like, I'm just not there in that headspace yet. Yet they still keep doing all of those actions to make it inevitably happen that you get to that physical point. But then they basically are like, well, I told you so kind of thing afterwards. So yeah, I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with being like a flirty or affectionate person when it comes to like you. There's no issue with like him doing that either. But I think it's if you're not comfortable with it and it's making it hard for you to get over him, then you got to tell him and just be like candid and honest and be like, yo, stop putting your arm around me if you're not trying to date me. Next call time.
So I never had a boyfriend. I kissed someone like, honestly, in the past year, I had my first kiss. I've never done anything sexually, so I haven't had sex or anything. I'm 19 years old. I was about to be a sophomore in college, and all of my friends make fun of me, and it makes me super, super annoyed, and because like all had sex basically, and I don't know if I want to have sex yet, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm ready for it because it's just like a huge thing and it like scares me, but like also I'm like, I just want to get over with, honestly, and like I'm very insecure about myself and I'm afraid that if I find a guy and he's not gonna want to have sex with me, or he's gonna think I'm really ugly or whatever. And I'm on Tinder, which is crazy. But I mean, I've never met anyone, but I'm thinking about doing it with someone on there. But they're not gonna. They like the pictures they see don't do like justice to my body and everything. I don't have a good body, and it really stresses me out. And I don't feel good about myself, but I just want to get this type of thing over with, but I don't know what to do. And it's really stressing me out. I have depression and anxiety, and I haven't talked to my parents about it, but I don't know what to do. There's a lot of shit going on in my life.
Having sex isn't going to make you feel better about your body. If anything, having sex is like, I mean, you're like the most naked you've ever been. So I think if it comes to like being insecure about your body, I also think that's something that like, I mean, I think everyone to a certain extent is always going to be insecure about their body in like aspects of it. But I think having sex isn't going to solve that. But also if you're waiting to be like, I'm waiting to have sex until I feel like super hot and super great, like you might die a virgin. Cause like, I don't feel super hot and super great all the time, but like, I still have sex. So I think there's that aspect of it. I think like learning to like, I'm not telling you to like love your body. Cause like, I don't, sounds terrible to say like, I don't buy into that whole like self-love kind of thing. Cause like I also got a nose job. So I think like just finding a way to like be cool with your body and doing things that make you feel better about yourself, even if it's not like an aesthetic thing where you like look in the mirror and you're like, wow, I really like this about myself. But if you're like focusing and doing things that make you feel good about yourself as a human, then it's kind of like, well, cool, my body works and it does all these like really cool things. And I like myself as a human, which is like way more important than like being obsessed with having like really big pores or something. But I also think wanting to get sex over with is a legitimate thing. I totally understand that. But also, if you have any sort of like debate or question or hesitation, I think that's kind of your answer. Like it's either like you want to get it over with and you're ready and you're solid and like there's no wavering and you're not concerned or worried about the repercussions of that and you've kind of just thought it all out. You have to be 100% in that direction. If you're like 60% there, I just say like wait it out. Also like someone's going to want to have sex with you, like more than just one person. I guarantee you, like there are lots of people like, dude, Donald Trump has kids. Like someone fucked multiple people have fucked Donald Trump. Like I 100% completely doubt that you're ugly in any sense of it at all. But just even if we're going to play that side of it, like ugly people have sex, that's also a thing. And it's also more about, instead of losing your virginity kind of thing, just when do you, I don't necessarily think losing your virginity is like this massive, massive thing, because I think it gives someone else a lot of power in the situation. So think of it more in the lines of like, do you want to have sex? Forget the virginity talk, forget like who you're going to lose it to and all of that stuff. I think it's more about like you personally. Like, do you want to do this? Like, are you ready for this? Like, is this something you want to do? Or is it something that you just feel like your friends are making fun of you for? And so you want them to shut up because, I mean, that's not really a good enough reason to do it. And it's also, if you want to meet someone on Tinder and go for it, go for it. But it's also just more about like, do you want to have sex? Not who do you want to lose your virginity to? Who's going to have sex with you? Because take the control back, because you got that control. And the next phone call is happening. 3, 2, 1, blast off.
How do I get my parents to start treating me and seeing me as an adult? I am going to be 22 in a few months. I moved out of their house when I was 19, and yet they still treat me and view me as almost their, like, still a child and almost like their property, and they don't get that I'm an adult. So how would you suggest that I get them to view me as the adult that I am?
If I didn't know any better, I would think this is my best friend calling me, because we literally just had a Skype call about this, or a FaceTime. Who Skypes anymore? A FaceTime call about this yesterday. I mean, no matter how old you get, I think your parents or whoever raised you or anything like that is always kind of going to treat you like a kid, just because that's just like default how it happens. I think as an adult, it's not so much about wanting them to treat you a certain way, but only it sounds really controlling to say, but like only letting them treat you in a certain way. So I think it's not about like demanding them to like do all of these things for you, but just don't give them the opportunity to treat you like a little kid. Being a grown up and like having your own place means like if they're being shitty and they're like treating you like you're 13 years old and doing all that stuff, like go home, like go to your place, like walk away and leave. Don't answer the phone call. Kind of don't go back to like that kind of high school mentality where it feels like the constant need to impress them and that sort of stuff. So I think if you approach it as more of an adult, not that I'm saying you're not approaching it as an adult, but I think if you limit the kind of control that they have over you in that sort of sense. And if you feel like, I know a major thing that happens with this, especially when it comes to like dating and stuff, and parents feeling like very involved in their kids' dating lives and all of those things and all that stuff, just like don't talk about it. Think of the things or figure out the stuff that you feel like you guys connect on an adult level, and then focus on that stuff and the things that you feel like you're being like belittled on, or you feel like they're treating you really crappy on. Just try and avoid those kinds of conversations and sources and those sort of situations. I apologize, words are hard. And then I would also say just try and create an adult relationship with them, because they know you as a kid and you know them as a grown-up. But now that you're both grown-ups, you don't really have that kind of adult on adult relationship. They've always been able to like keep things from you and kind of talk down to you because that's just how it goes. So I'm not necessarily saying that like ask them about like super personal stuff in their lives that they'd feel uncomfortable telling you about, because ultimately you still are their kid. But like maybe like tell them that you want to start like a book club with them, or like start listening to the same podcast, maybe this one, and start creating things that you have mutual interest in with them that can spark like adult conversations and grown-up conversations, like listen to NPR. I'm thinking of like very standard stereotypical grown-up things, but then just kind of fostering new hobbies together or new mutual interests that are just very separate from the kind of thing that you're used to and the kind of stuff that you know, because then that's creating a whole new kind of relationship that will 100% be based in adulthood because you're both adults. And then also just know, like, I feel like no matter what, like we've seen all the romantic comedies about how like parents still treat their kids like kids even when they're older and like they have kids and all of that stuff. So just knowing your own boundaries and knowing that like you've got your own place. So if they like piss you off, leave. And you can block their phone number for a while. You can just not call them back. I hope your parents don't listen to this. Oh, next call. Sorry, I forgot what this show was.
So one of my questions is that, like, me and my friends split homework and, like, homework assignments, and we trade answers, but lately she hasn't been doing any work at all, and I've been doing it all. And so I want her to be my friend, but I want her to pick up her slack. So how do I tell her this without breaking our friendship?
Oh, my God. Your friend sounds like me in high school. Where it's like, we used to do that all the time, but it was also like my answers weren't always the right ones. Okay. I mean, what you're doing isn't like academically, ethically correct, but like I also say like, this is what I did with my friends. And I was like the stupid friend of my friends, which all like, I mean, I think now my friends would be like, yeah, you were. But like, even then they're like, no, Megan, don't worry, it's fine, kind of thing. So I think there's a way to like kind of tiptoe around it, because I mean, if she's not pulling her weight in like doing this like very Ocean's 11 scheme of getting better grades, then just like, is it just because she's like being lazy, or is it because like she's not as smart as you guys? Which like, if that's the answer, like that was me. Like I have really bad ADHD. And so it's hard to keep up with that kind of stuff. So I think if it's maybe it's sitting down and doing the homework like together with her. Like how about if you're splitting it with other friends, why don't you guys do your aspect together and you do both of those, and then you're kind of able to see like, is she struggling with this more? Like should she be doing a different subject? Should be doing a different homework assignment on this and all of that stuff? Or is it that she's just being lazy? And if she's just being lazy, then you know, maybe like let her ride with your good grades, and then like just bring someone else in to like do more of the homework, and then just don't tell her, and then just like have her reap the benefits, because it's not necessarily worth like ruining a friendship over, because if she's stupid she'll feel really bad about it, because like same. But I mean also, dude, you're in a position where like you're not really allowed to do this at all, so like you can't, like if you piss her off, what if she goes to like the principal and it's like, we've all been doing homework and trading answers, like no one's doing it? So you know, maybe just slide someone else in and like have her just think she's doing the work. Or, or if she's stupid, it's like charity. Think of it like that. Okay, guys, now we're going to take a quick break to listen to the ad sponsors who make this podcast possible. Woo, woo, woo. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Casper. And no, not the friendly ghost. We're talking about mattresses, people. I actually have a Casper mattress in my guest bedroom, which, first of all, let me just say, was shipped amazingly quick because I had a friend staying with me, Aislinn Paul. You should follow her. She's great. She's a wonderful human. She's also sitting right next to me as I record this. And they're amazing mattresses. I've also slept there on nights when my boyfriend and I have gotten in a fight before. And it's also a full-size bed, by the way. And it fits 2 people because then in the middle of the night when he's like, Megan, like, I'm so sorry. I forgive you. And then I'm too late to get out of bed and go into our real bed. We sleep in that bed. And I honestly regret spending so much money on my mattress in my bedroom because it cost so much more than a Casper. Their mattresses are the best price of any mattress ever. I tell everyone all of the time. So Casper is an online retailer of mattresses, and these aren't just like ones that you find on the side of the road that have bed bugs. No, these are premium mattresses. These are the kinds of mattresses that make those commercials with those people who are like happy, and they're like the kinds of sleep that you get when you don't need the sheep. Casper's mattress is an obsessively engineered mattress at a ridiculously fair price. They're made out of memory foam for this amazing sleeping sensation where you sink right in, but you're not absolutely sinking into a sinkhole. You got a little bit of bounce on there. You can roll around without feeling like you're like, oh my God, I've fallen and I cannot get up. Plus, it doesn't get hot at night, which if you've never had a mattress that gets hot at night, you don't think it's a possible thing. Oh my gosh, it is. It stays cool. It is amazing. It's easy because you can buy it online. You don't have to go to a store and sit on mattresses when you think about the fact that all of these other human beings have been sitting on those same mattresses trying to test which ones they want. And you roll around on them and other people have rolled around on them. It's like a gross hotel bed. No, you don't have to do that with Casper because you can just order your mattress online. And they offer free delivery and returns within a 100-day period. Do you know how many days is 100? That's one more than 99, one less than 101. And that is more than 3 months. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that is more than 3 months. You could spend 3 months sleeping on this mattress and be like, nah, not for me, which honestly you won't, but you could do that. And then guess what? Oh my gosh, you just returned it. That's not hard at all. Like I said, I have this mattress in my guest bedroom. It is amazing. I love it. I really regret not having it in my master bedroom. Would have saved me a whole lot of dollar bills, y'all. And speaking of saving you dollar bills, y'all, you can use Casper.com/blame and enter the promo code blame for $50 towards your mattress, which is a lot of money in general, but also when you see how competitively priced these mattresses are, $50 is making a dent in whatever mattress you have. So again, if you guys, I know you want to, if you're moving out, you need a bed. Those are things you don't think about. You need a bed, and you're not going to sleep on an air mattress or a water bed for the rest of your life because you will stay single forever. So again, use the code BLAME at Casper.com/blame, and you're going to get $50 towards your mattress. So massive thank you to Casper. First of all, massive thank you to Casper for sponsoring this episode. Also, thank you for the bed. I'm sure Aislinn would like to say thank you too because she slept on it. And anytime any of my friends party too hard and I'm like, yo, don't worry. Casper got you hooked up. You got a bed to sleep in. So essentially it's why I have friends. Casper, you've done so much for me. One more time, Casper.com/blame, offer code BLAME. You're welcome. You can't blame me, because I did this in a good way. And we are back, and it's time for the next call.
So I am 21 years old, and my boyfriend and I have been together for around 2 years. The majority of our relationship has been long distance, which, by the way, we totally kicked ass at. And I have so much trust in him, and being apart has never made me nervous or anything like that. He studied abroad in Europe for a semester, and at the end of that semester, I flew over to Europe, and we stayed together for a week, little vacation. My first night there, and my first time seeing him in 4 months, we were just looking through the pictures on his phone from his trip, and I came across a picture of a naked girl laying on a bed. The thought of him, hooking up with her had never even crossed my mind, But once he noticed that I saw the picture, he started apologizing immediately, said that he was drunk, they made out, he regretted it so much, he immediately stopped. All his friends abroad with him knew that he had a girlfriend back home and so mad at him, blah, blah, blah. He didn't even know the girl. She was visiting a friend and then left the next day, whatever, the bullshit. I got over it like that day because, we were in Europe for the next 8 days together and I wasn't going to let that ruin my whole trip. But once we got back, we're done with long distance, live in the same city, together all the time. Everything's great. Love each other. We're awesome. But it pisses me off still. I think about it all the time. And I bring it up to him because I get pissed off. And he doesn't really say much. He just says, I told you I was sorry, that I regret it. I don't know what else you want me to say. I'm like, well, fix it because I'm still upset about it. And it just makes me upset every single day. I think about it. I kiss him and I'm like, all I can picture is this girl kissing him. And I know it's not a huge, huge deal, whatever. They made out, whatever, but it still is kind of a big deal to me. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm really asking for advice on here. I just really don't know what to do about it because every time I bring it up to him, he just kind of is like, I don't know what else to say. I love you and I'm sorry. And I don't tell any of my friends any of this because I don't want them to look down on him because he really is a great guy and I really do love him. And I feel stupid that he cheated on me and I don't know. So what do you think I should do to try to get over this? Because I literally cannot get over it and I don't know how.
I want to slap him. Oh my God. I would lose my fucking shit. I can't even explain to you. I'm with you on this right now where I'm like, dude, I would be so fucking mad. I don't know what I would do and I don't know what, but I would still be mad. God, that fucking sucks. That's the worst. That's God, I would just, oh my God. Oh, God. And I understand when you're like, well, I still love him and all this stuff. If I'm putting myself in this situation and I genuinely don't know what I would do because surprise, surprise, my boyfriend and I, we're going to end up together. We know that. We talk about that all the time. If he fucking cheated on me, first of all, I would, I think you've kind of missed the opportunity to punch him in the face, but I would have done that. But then I also think I don't know what is going to make you feel better. I don't know that, but I think it's completely natural for I think even in general, as much as people say, someone cheats on you or whatever, you have to get fully over it. I think there's a way to move past it, but I don't think there's ever going to be a way for you to look back on that and be like, haha, wasn't it funny that time you got naked with some girl and made out? I feel great about that. I think no matter what, even if you've moved past it and you're technically over it, it's still not going to be a fun, fond memory to look back on. That still totally sucks. But I think if there really isn't anything specific that you want from him to do that could make you feel better, if it's just that, the aspect of it is the feeling hurt, I think there's a way to convey it in a way where it's if it's still so present in your mindset and your thought process and all that, is it just because you're looking back on that specific moment? Or do you feel are you questioning other decisions that he's doing and how he's treating you in other circumstances and other situations? Is it making you feel his feelings aren't as strong for you or he would be unfaithful again? Is that what the fear is coming from? Because I think if it's making you notice other aspects and you don't feel supported or loved in your relationship right now, even though it's been a while, maybe that's what you address. But if it's purely just looking back on the memory, I don't think you're ever going to look back on that with good job, bro. Hella proud. That sucks. It super sucks. And I think, God, I just feel so bad.
I think it comes down to two things. You have one of two choices.
You break up with him or you don't.
You either break up with him,
yeah,
or you get over it. And it sounds to me like she can't get over it. So you got to break up.
Yeah,
with him.
do you want what if she gets a freebie pass? What if you get a freebie pass for no, it's fucked up.
No. I would honestly, I would say, you have two choices.
Yeah.
You can either A, get over it, or B, break up with him. If you can't get over it,
get over that?
Then it sounds like she can't. So she has to break up with him. Look, that's the thing. She is hurt. She can't get past it. So she has to end it.
Yeah.
It's the only way because it's driving her insane.
Yeah. It just doesn't sound fun
she's
to be
in
her.
She's in the right here.
Yeah.
So, but that's really what it comes down to. If she really doesn't want to break up with this guy, then she needs to find a way to get over it. If she can't get over it, then she has to break up with him. Because otherwise, she's just driving herself crazy. and wasting her own time.
Well, I mean, I think it's also if that's the most prevalent thing that you can't move past and you've been dating for all this time beforehand, the good needs to outweigh the bad. And if this bad doesn't outweigh the good, then it's not fun because
it's clearly not fun.
It doesn't
It's
seem
driving
fun
her
at all.
crazy. Honestly, when I heard this call too, I was just thinking,
I fucking hate him. I hate him so much.
That's the picture that you saw.
Oh shit. Oh, also, I really wish I could throw my boyfriend under the bus right now for like a story, which is not even halfway as bad as this. I saw him looking at something on his phone, which was like not of him personally with any girl, just of a different girl. And I lost my shit and I was so mad. So I can't even imagine if I saw a picture of like an actual girl and it came to that whole cheating thing. Yeah, I think also you're young enough. I mean, you're not old at all. Like you're like, but like this is kind of the thing. This sounds stupid to say, like the right guy or whatever just wouldn't do that to you. Like just that wouldn't happen. It's also the same thing where put yourself in his position. Like if you did that to a guy that you were dating, would you have done that to the guy that you think is like you're going to end up with? Like would that lapse of judgment have occurred if you felt like this was it? Or if that risk worth the reward of it. And I just don't think he was considering you at all. And that's not really someone you want to be in a relationship with. Also, I want to punch him in the face and egg his car. And I know I'm all about girl love and I'm all about all of that stuff too. But like, I bet you're really prettier. I'm just saying that. He sounds like a fuck face. On to the next call. I'm so mad about that one.
My advice is needed about my parents and my boyfriend. He and I have been in a relationship for over 7 years now, high school sweethearts, the whole sappy deal. But we have a really great relationship. We grew up together and totally understand each other and have been through a lot together. But my parents are not the biggest fan of his. And the older that I get, the harder that becomes for me to kind of feel like I'm choosing between my family and my boyfriend. And obviously I love my parents and my family. And I don't want to have to feel like I have to choose either of them. But he has a hard time coming around them because he knows that there's weird tension. And I just didn't know if there was any advice you could give. Maybe if you ever dated somebody your parents weren't fond of, or know anything that could help me break that ice, because I obviously would love to marry this dude. And I don't know how comfortable I would be to do that if I didn't know that my parents 100% supported that relationship.
I think what you have to figure out is why they don't like him. And then at that point, there's sometimes just like stupid things that really dated mindsets, whether that comes to like different religions or like your parents are like low-key racist. Not that I'm like saying that your parents are low-key racist, but like think about it in that sort of sense. If they don't like him because they don't like the way that he treats you, I think that's a very different thing than not liking him because he grew up with a different background than you, or if they just don't like him just to not like him without any sort of like real reason.
Or maybe they don't like him because this is the guy having sex with their daughter.
Oh, that is also true. I don't even think of it like that. But I will also say this. I think as much as it's important for you personally to have your parents like the person that you're dating, I think parents always have a sense, they have a relationship where it's no matter what, it's their kid. I think and I've always felt that the opinion that matters most is the people who not only see you together a lot, but your peers. It's your friends and people who know the unfiltered, unlike, oh, let me button up for my parents kind of look, and who can look at it from a very, like a very parallel sense of it, where they see how you act in an everyday thing and all that stuff. So I think if everyone in your life is like very anti this person, I mean, it's about whose opinions do you value? Do you feel like these people in your life have your like best interests at heart and all of this stuff? And if everyone in your life dislikes your boyfriend, who do you choose to believe in that sense? Do you choose to believe like your childhood best friends and your parents and all of these people who've known you through your ups and downs? Or do you choose to side with this person who you want to end up with? But I also don't think, I also don't think it's necessary for your parents to absolutely like love the person you're dating. And I think like, I mean, God, if that was the case, hello, every single romantic comedy starring Jennifer Lopez in the last 10 years would be irrelevant. Like, that's just like, it's a standard kind of thing. And I think it does come from the aspect of like, you're fucking my daughter and that sort of thing. But I mean, if they like don't like him because like, I don't know, he's like kills puppies, then like, maybe believe them. I think it just depends on why they don't like them. Unless you're dating multiple people, in which case, polygamy is legal in like Georgia. No, Oregon. I don't know. Jack is like, what the fuck are you saying?
I think it's Utah. And also, I'm not sure it's legal anywhere, actually.
Oh.
I know.
Sister Wives?
I'm not really
How can I have a whole TV show if
I'm
it's
not really
legal?
sure, to be honest.
Well, I think
we shouldn't judge.
No, not judging at all. Not at all. But I think figuring out why they don't like him, having a serious sit-down conversation with them and like talking to them about it and be like, hey, I really like this guy. And maybe you haven't conveyed that enough. Because I think also, and this is how I felt with a lot of my friends and their parents when they've started dating. It's like the parents kind of just go into it. It's like, well, shit, like our kids are like 20 and 23. These are temporary boyfriends. We're not going to get super attached to this because we know how the story goes. So I think if they understand how serious you feel about him and all of that, then maybe they'll change their kind of tune with it all. But maybe they just don't know how important he is to you. And maybe they're kind of used to, not that I'm saying that you like date people and then drop them and all that stuff, but maybe they're not, they're trying to not get attached because they don't think it'll last, which maybe I would just talk to them first and then find out why they don't like him. Okay, guys, that's the end of our calls. But wait, there's more. We have Producer's Corner, where producer Jack Ferry picks his favorite question.
That's right. So every week we thought it would be really fun if I picked what I consider to be the best call of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got a good one for you this week.
Do you now?
I do.
Come at me, bro.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, Megan. So I have this friend, and she asked me to come over to help her take a couple of pictures for her Instagram. I know, who does that? Anyways, I think I left my sunglasses out in her driveway during the photo shoot. I texted her to see if they were out there, and she said she would check, but I haven't heard back from her. Anyways, I remember a similar problem some guy had last week. I think his name was Matt. And my friend said something about having other people I could get in touch with. Anyways, I couldn't find any contact information, but I did come across this phone number. Let me know if you have any advice.
Wow. That guy sounds so familiar to me.
Oh my God, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can't place. You know what? He kind of sounds like your friend Ross. That's what his voice sounds like. A little bit. Anyway, what's your advice for this gentleman who went to his friend's house and left his sunglasses, and then his friend very rudely didn't find them for him?
I would say that friend should probably make a reminder on their phone right now for as soon as they're done doing whatever they're doing to go look for that.
Oh, so you're saying
that
you should tell this gentleman to let his friend know to set a reminder on her phone.
To set a timer on her phone for approximately 15 to 20 minutes, so they could go look outside for those sunglasses. Yeah, I would suggest that. I would say he's not in the wrong at all. I would say all of that is on his friend. It's his friend's bad 100%, and I bet his friend feels really, really bad, and his friend will also text him as soon as hopefully they find said sunglasses, and will probably, if they randomly have a Pilates class together tomorrow, that friend I would think would probably just bring them.
You know, this is what I love about this show is when we get to the producer's corner, the advice gets so specific, which I think is really exciting.
I just feel like I've gotten good at it, like through the last couple of I just like finally get these very concise, very like just step-by-step directions. I'm really sorry, Ross. Okay, guys, that is the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening. If you listened all the way through, what emoji should you tweet me? I think you should tweet me. Ooh, the lion. I'm really enjoying the lion one right now. So yeah, guys, now it's time. Now you've finished listening to this. Now you can call into the podcast so we can get questions for next week. And that phone number is 310-694-0976. One more time, 310-694-0976. I would also love if you guys could call in, and if you have any more advice, if you feel like I didn't touch on something, or you're listening to this being like, I totally agree with you, but what about this? Or if you're like, Megan, you a dipshit, I have way better advice on something, and you have more personal experience when it comes to something, and like maybe you lost your virginity to a guy on Tinder or a gal on Tinder, and you want to share your story and some of your advice with any of the advice questions that we did now on this episode, you guys can call in too. We would love to hear your feedback to I already know my answers are like super, super great, but if you just want to like, call in and say like, yeah, they're super great, you should also do that. So that's the same phone number. So if you guys could do that, that'd be fun and awesome. And I would also love if you could leave us a review on iTunes. Please do that, because I left one, and if you figure out which one I left. Okay, guys, we will see you back in 2 weeks. And for that episode, we are trying to solicit some questions that have more of a theme to them. Now that the school year is ending, prom has either already happened or is happening. You've got graduation, or you've got promotion going from 5th grade to 6th grade. That's what we call it. Also, if you're that young and listening to this, I apologize. I hope you have noise-canceling headphones so your parents can't hear you. I would love to get some of those themed questions, whether like what should I do to get a prom date? Or how do I deal with something super embarrassing I did at prom? Like get really drunk and then fall asleep on the floor. Hey, that was me. So I think we would love that. I mean, I don't think we would love that. I know we would love that. So if you could call us with any of those questions specifically, use the phone number 310-694-0976. Again, it is 310-694-0976. And we'll be taking questions that aren't just end of the school year themed or all of that stuff. But we thought it'd be kind of fun to do more of like a themed episode. And if it goes well and you have other ideas for like themed episodes to direct that advice towards, hey, if this one does well, maybe we'll reward you with one about penis. I don't know, something. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I will hear you. I'll hear you, but you'll hear me in 2 weeks. So just sit down, twiddle your thumbs. Just don't move. Just become a statue and wait. It's like a chastity belt for your ears. Goodbye. Guys, this isn't an ad. This is more just like me asking for a favor. And no, it's not sexual, which is no one likes asking for sexual favors. You just like what? Fuck. Okay. Well, guys, I am asking you to leave a review for my podcast on iTunes. Just search it on iTunes. Honestly, you're already here. So if you could just like click like the logo, and then it like takes you to the landing page, and then you can leave a review. I would love if it could be a 5-star review. If you're not going to leave a 5-star review, please just like don't leave a review in general, because that doesn't help me at all. And I thought that I would read some of my favorite reviews, which is like positive reinforcement for you to leave great reviews, because then I'll read them on the air. I'm tricking you, except it's not tricking, because I told you what I'm doing. The first one comes from Mary Linz, and she said, "The perfect podcast." And her full review is, "This is absolutely my favorite podcast. It feels like Megan is my big sister and giving me advice. Heart." Amazing. I love that. That made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So thank you so much, Mary. My other favorite one comes from someone who's 4S Bandit, and it says, "Yas, queen." No, really, it's great. So those are my 2 favorite reviews right now. If you feel like you could top those reviews, can you review it better than people review sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon, where it's like, "This aspartame made me shit myself." Except my podcast has nothing to do with shitting myself. You should listen to Grace Helbig's podcast for those sort of tidbits. I would love you guys to leave a review, because then I will read it out loud. Get creative. Think of some haikus, but also make it like actually like legitimate. So when people like look at it, they're not like, "Ooh, who paid all these like people to like leave reviews for her podcast?" That'd be really great. I just need validation constantly. So thanks, guys, in advance. Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced and directed by Jack Ferry, associate producer Melissa DeMons, edited by Melissa DeMons, post-production sound by Chris Henry, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and don't blame me if your life bursts into flames before then.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
And Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.